So were the witches really burned at Salem? And where do they come from? What's up guys, my name is Captain Jack Sparrow, aka Dave Warple, and this is How the Week here at IO. So do you believe in black magic, witchcraft, and all that mumbo jumbo hocus pocus? It was in Salem, Massachusetts, so if I say it wrong, it sounds like massive too. Now it's been very famous for its massive witch trials that happened back in the 17th century. Now there's a lot of myths and legends about what actually happened there, but here we're going to uncover the truth there, lad. Now as for witchcraft, it's been around since, well, a long time. But it was when Pope Innocent VII made a declaration in 1498 that it became officially publicly aware. He acknowledged that their existence was real and they came into the light. Killings were authorized by Pope George IX back in the 13th century. However, according to Monica Green of the Arizona State University, who studies medical history and all that sort of stuff, she said witchcraft came about. Why? Because religious and of course government authorities wanted to remove midwives from the birthing process. At the time, midwives were from lower class and actually were very illiterate. Kind of like me, Captain Jack. A lot of them used ointments and of course herbs, which was considered black magic at the time, thus having most of them actually condemned as witches. Moving right along all the way to the Salem prosecutions, which actually happened from February 1692 to May of 1693. These happened after a bunch of young girls became extraordinarily sick and ill in the January of 62. Now these kids had things like seizures, violent outbreaks, in which of course doctors would say that that was because of black magic. Now these trials resulted in 20 people being executed and 8 being put into jail. Now a lot of people think that the witches were actually burned there, mate, but that's actually not very true. 19 of them were hanged by their necks until dead. Why? Because it was English law that people were hanged at Gallows Hill at the time. As for the burnings, well, that happened more in European cultures, lad. Now as for the 20th, he was the only male, which was also called a wizard at the time. He actually had one of the most gruesome deaths. He was actually pressed between 2 giant stones after he did not plead guilty. Now as for the other 8, 5 of them apparently died in prison. During the trials they used a thing called a touch test. And what that would mean is when they had a sick child, if one of the accused witches touched the child and the child would stop having a fit, then, well, she was guilty of witchcraft. Really good science, you know. It's really bad eggs. As for the child's sicknesses, they believe it was caused by either mass hysteria from Indian attacks, or it was caused by convulsive ergotism, which is caused from eating an infected rye bread known as claviceps purpurea, which oddly enough has a substance where LSD has come from. So they went mad in the head, mad like Jack. So do you still believe in black magic? Or do you believe that there's a science behind everything, lad? Let me know down there in the comments below. So, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow, and as I always say, I lost my hat. Enjoy the rough seas. Where's the back?